Well, welcome to the 15 minutes what can I hide from general view for a tour of my tiny house. I've been in it just about a year now, and let's do a quick walkthrough and see what's happening. This is from by the front door, which is something I've yet to paint. But 391 square feet, 2006, I believe this was built, and I'm liking it. It is not the romanticized, marvelously customized, beautifully sculpted woodworking marvel that a lot of them are. This is a real one. This is one I actually live in. And I'm just so impressed with all the other ones that I see out there. But this is mine with the all the realities of having to find a place for the printer and for the coats and for some artwork and for my workstation and for the kitchen. And we're going to walk that way here in a bit, which isn't going to take long because it's a tiny house. By the way, this kitchen island moves, so it's a handy thing to have. But this is the main addition I've made to the kitchen, which is temporary. I can see changing this out. But I found that an induction burner and a convection oven really do everything I need for the kitchen, except for every once in a while I need a burner because I've got some old cookware that really just doesn't work on induction. And that is the overflow of my pantry. Because the one thing I do miss is being able to just go for sales and pick up more stuff. So I haven't found the neat and tidy way of organizing that yet, but that's what living in a house is like. Bay window for the plants, which is kind of fun. I have twinkle lights around the house, which is a really odd thing for me to have, but it is nice to kind of keep the place open so it doesn't feel, like a closed in place at night. And to the left, the faucet and whatnot are some of the herbs and spices. The rest of them are in the closets. And then there's the snacks and things like that. But really, this kitchen is bigger than the one I had in an 868 square foot house that I sold to buy this. And that is a really handy thing to just kind of realize that it's a smaller space, but it's actually more functional in some ways. But I miss that pantry, and having this extra hardware around probably would work better in a bigger house. But, these are all compromises. Every house is a compromise. And by the way, you may see glimpses of the outside, but that's all you're going to get because I'm talking about the house, and the glimpse on the outside is more of a commentary on, mobile home park living. Don't have my own land yet. Here's the heat, for the most part. It's a mini split that's turned off to keep quiet right now, and in the wintertime there's a electric furnace, which the two of them battle each other, so only use one or only use the other. And I've written about this before. This is my big comfy chair. $70. My second workstation, where the other computer lives. And underneath the oven is my entertainment center. Doesn't have to get fancy. But see, that's the thing. This is simple living. This is very simplistic living. But that's the idea. It's not to be artistic, though there is art. There's some art up there. Yeah, there's some art up there. There we go. There's the art. It is intentional living. It's intentional living in such a way that you have to make choices. But conscious choices, and it's really enlivening because it's like, oh, this is why I'm doing this. Not because I saw it in an ad, not because I saw somebody talking about it. This is the way I'm living, and this works well for me. By the way, as far as art goes, I write. These are my books. They're on Amazon, Lulu, and also over on Blurb. But, that's a separate topic. The one big addition I've made inside was this. It's kind of hard to fit it in, but that is a $2,000 washer dryer that goes into a 110 unit rather than 220, and has its own internal heat pump for drying the fabrics, for drying the laundry, which is really impressive. It was actually a $3,200 machine, but they had it on sale, so I picked it up. If you notice the cardboard, there's cardboard on both sides of it. It's because when a washing machine spins and shakes in a house, it'll possibly walk itself across the floor. But here, the weight of the washing machine is a larger fraction of the weight of the house. It's not an enormous fraction, but it's way bigger than in a conventional house. So when this thing shakes, I have to buffer it by just putting in cardboard. Some days I'll do something fancier than that. And then one simple thing that I did was just because this was sized out to have a stackable washer dryer, there's a space above it to put in my winter coats. There's the bedroom. We're going to get to that in a bit. Here's the bathroom. By the way, that door, thing that's on the door, when I move in, I just started writing down all the things I need to do and buy. Not everything, but an awful lot of it. And it's still an undone thing. There's so much more to do. After a year, there's always more. And here we go into the bed, into the bathroom. Not much of a tour. I'm not going to do much more of a tour. It's really a conventional bathroom. It just happens to be small. And, it's a bathroom. It's a 3/4, not a bath. There's not a bathtub. There's a shower. But it's really nice to just have that much to clean. And let's see. Oh, so when I bought this, there weren't any curtains. So my neighbors in the backyard had a show for a little while, and I had an awful lot of ducking and dodging to give them some privacy. But this room is the size of my queen size bed. I mean, it is. There's the bed. There's the walls. That's about it. So, can't fall out. Now, I said the main heat is in the other room, which is the mini split. But because this has tall ceilings and door sills, the heat from a mini split doesn't always make it into the bathroom into here. So each of these extra rooms has a little heater in it, which of course this time of year is now May 2025. So it's not being used much, but it is handy. And here's where I'm going to make an admission. Like I said, what can I cover up in 15 minutes to do a video? So there's the closet, regular closet. Took the doors off so I could put in the chest of drawers that I've got. And I'm not going to show you all my clothes because they're kind of a mess. But it gives you an idea that, I had one piece of furniture and something else had to go. So the doors are hiding over here behind the bed. Not always obvious where these things go. I have a storage unit that has an awful lot of other things, like about 150 square foot storage unit. I don't remember exactly. And there is storage here, but there's things like carrying the doors out here to put into a car, to put into the storage unit, and then to pull back out again. That would just be, it gets to be more of a stunt than anything else. So I just stored them there. And as is typical with a tiny house, that is about it. These are small houses. They're going to be just focusing on the essentials. And that's the handy part. I really am impressed. There's a friend of mine who custom built her tiny house. She's an artist. It really shows. This was manufactured, say about 18 years ago. I just bought it last year, so it's showing its age. But then again, I sold a house that had over 60 years, and it was also showing its age. Age is what happens to houses that get used. And anyway, so that's the quick view. Oh, that was the other point. In a house, the house I had radiant floor heat. Marvelous stuff. Never very obvious, but always kept the floors warm. This is a tiny house on wheels. It's actually a park model house on wheels. That means that what's underneath this floor is air. There's some framework and all that sort of thing. But carpets and rugs are very handy, especially in the wintertime. because there's not a whole lot of insulation down there compared to like a normal house would have with a, an attic and a basement and all those other things. So anyway, I hope this has been useful, entertaining, or something to laugh at. And again, this is Tom Turbath. This is my house in Port Townsend and a mobile home park. And 2025, May, 1 year after I moved in. Circa. Thanks for being here.